Good morning and welcome to this reflection for Tuesday the 2nd of February. My name is Caroline and I'm one of the curates in the parish. And this morning we're going to read one of the most famous passages written by St. Paul in the New Testament. 1 Corinthians chapter 13. If you'd like to read this beautiful passage, this is the moment to pause the video and then we'll carry on once you've read it. These beautiful words are often read at weddings and at funerals. Indeed, I chose this for my own wedding. In chapter 12, we heard yesterday about the list of spiritual gifts that Paul is very keen that the church in Corinth should understand. But at the beginning of our reading today, Paul makes it quite clear that you cannot use these wonderful gifts unless you have love at the centre of your motivation. So it doesn't matter whether you speak in tongues or you have a marvellous gift of prophecy or you have faith that can move a mountain. If you don't have love at the heart of this, then it will all be for nothing. In verse 4, Paul writes these famous words: "Love is patient. Love is kind. Love does not envy. It does not boast. It is not proud. It does not dishonour others. It is not self-seeking. It is not easily angered. It keeps no record of wrongs." Paul is addressing the darkness in our own souls. If you were to swap the word love for your own name and read that again, I don't know about you, but that would not ring true. I've found in this season of lockdown that I am not always very patient, and actually sometimes I'm really not very kind. If there have been any triumphs, I'm very keen for everybody else to know all about them. And I can be very grumpy with those who I perceive to have done the wrong thing. None of this is the way God has called us to love each other. And I think it's really important that we look to the Lord as our example of how to love. In verse 6, Paul writes, "Love does not delight in evil, but rejoices in the truth. It always protects, always trusts, always loves, always perseveres." That love that just deals in truth, I would encourage us all to depend on that, to seek it. Sometimes being the only one who speaks the truth in a room full of, or a Zoom call even, of people who don't speak the truth can be very difficult. But we're on the side of the Lord if we do, and he will not abandon us. He will persevere. In verse 8, Paul says, "Love never ends." And this godly love, this agape love that we see on the cross as Jesus stretches out his arms to love us all, that is the love that never ends. And it lasts through death, through the end of this life, and into all eternity. So when we think about what does love look like, it's not that Valentine-y red hearts and chocolate sort that we are going to be surrounded by as Valentine's Day comes upon us. No, this is a different love. This is God's love, which is patient and kind. It doesn't envy or boast. It perseveres and it never ends. To end this chapter, Paul uses two images, one of a child and one of a mirror. We can only glimpse God in the godly love that we see from others. And I think once we are united with God in all eternity, we will have a fuller understanding of what his call on our life, his love for us will be. For now we can only see a glimpse. It's like peeping through a door and expecting to be able to see the whole room. Paul uses the image of a mirror, that we can only see the reflection of a mirror, and it's not clear. The Corinthians used polished metal as a mirror, and so they never got a clear image of what they looked like. And I think that's a really good analogy for us. We won't see ourselves as God sees us until we are with him in all eternity. But the way we behave, the way we choose to act, we can do something about that. God has given us gifts of faith and hope and love, but the greatest of this one is love. So my prayer for us as a parish today is that we will know the love of God and that we'll be able to share the love of God. Amen.